Okay, and we're up and running for the day. It's just 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. It took me an awful long time to sort all of my paraphernalia out this morning. That's something that's going to have to change when we get to the real thing, particularly as I'm not even carrying a bag today, whereas I'll have all of my kit on my back each day when it comes to doing the walk itself. See you later. Okay, this is the Chaffinch Brock. This is basically the river that we're going to be following all the way up to Greenwich. It doesn't get much bigger, to be honest, but we'll pick up one or two tributaries as we go along. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so here we are. We're about 3 miles into the walk, just outside of Catford. This is the conflux of the Rivers Pool and Ravensbourne. You've got the Ravensbourne on the right there. That rises about 6 miles south of here in Keston Ponds, and was once used by Julius Caesar to water his army a couple of thousand years ago. Sort of more to the left here, we've got the River Pool. The River Pool is basically the Chaffinch, which we saw way back at the start of this walk, after it is combined with the Beck, from which Beckenham derives its name. The conflux of those two rivers is actually back in Cater Park, which we did walk through, but I didn't get a picture of that. Okay, there's another famous local landmark here. This big tree in front of me is actually a Dutch elm. Of course, Dutch elms have pretty much been wiped out by Dutch elm disease, and this is said to be the only specimen of a Dutch elm anywhere in Britain. Fun fact, it's even got its own plaque, look. Okay, here we are, just coming into Lewisham town centre. Always makes me laugh, this sign. I think it's the last place in the world I'd think of bringing my rods. But somewhere behind there, the Quaggy River now joins the Ravensbourne. Quaggy River is another one of the lost rivers of South East London. Not actually sure where that rises or what route it takes, but somewhere by the station it joins up with our old friend the Ravensbourne and carries on towards Deptford. So we're now in Brockmill Park, which is one of my favourite stretches of this river walk. The river is over on my right hand side, and it's actually been artificially diverted in this part of the walk, and the DLR now follows the the original route of the river. But it's been done very sympathetically, and there's lots of interesting fauna and flora on this stretch. It's very, very peaceful here. Brockmill Park is, I'd say really, it's in the St John's area, which is a sort of slightly more affluent part of Lewisham. But yeah, always find it very, very peaceful in here. It's a nice water feature. Okay, so about 2.5 hours after we left the house, we've arrived at the river pretty much. Canary Wharf in the background behind me, and this, to this side of me, is Deptford Creek. So going back that way, that's back towards Lewisham, and this is where the Ravensbourne enters the River Thames. Interestingly, just in this stretch of water in Deptford Creek was where Queen Elizabeth I knighted Sir Francis Drake when he got back on the Golden Hind, having sailed all around the world back in 1581. That history is reflected in a lot of the street names and school names and such like in these parts. There we go. That's a slightly better view of Deptford Creek. It remains tidal about half a mile upstream back towards Lewisham. It's really just once you get sort of about a quarter of a mile in, it's not a lot more than a muddy ditch, really, a muddy channel. And on the other side of the river, that's the Isle of Dogs. The building with the pyramid-shaped roof, that's One Canada Square. I worked there for quite a happy year, I would say, back in 2008. I was only on the 10th floor. One Canada Square was for a long time the tallest building in the UK. That accolade, of course, now belongs to the Shard, which we can't actually see from here. It's about 10 kilometres up the river at London Bridge to the west of here. Okay, we're just coming into Greenwich now, some 12.5 kilometres after leaving the house. That domed building you can see in front of me, that houses the stairwell down into the foot tunnel, and the foot tunnel is going to take us across to the north side of the river, but that'll probably be in half an hour or so. I think we've probably earned / due a pit stop, and then as we turn the corner here, the Cutty Sark, very famous, one of the fastest tea clippers travelling, bringing back cargoes of tea, but back from Asia in whatever century it was. So there's the Cutty Sark, looking absolutely smashing today, having been restored a few years back after a serious fire. And here we are. Welcome to Maritime Greenwich, a World Heritage Site, and this is a better view of the Cutty Sark from the other side. Just zoom out a bit. Of course, a big Sunday, Greenwich absolutely mobbed with tourists, albeit it's still a little early. Let's go and see if there's any of the pubs open. So, lunchtime pint. Now I've got a musical accompaniment with the smooth sounds of Dr. Jazz. I don't know, a big jazz fan, but he's pretty good actually, this fella, so quite enjoying it. It's a bit hot though now, so next stop's going to have to be Boots to pick up some sun cream. Okay. Feeling replenished, we head for the foot tunnel. I wonder if the lifts are going to be working today. So the Greenwich Foot Tunnel, originally built to enable South Londoners to walk to their jobs on the docks in, I guess, just at the turn of the 20th century. Extraordinary feat of Victorian engineering. I think the tunnel's something like 370 metres long, maybe. Obviously survived the World War II, albeit with a bit of bomb damage. I'm not sure if the lift's working or not, but we're using the stairs. I'll see you on the other side. Actually in the tunnel, plenty of arseholes on bikes and electric bikes, even though you're not actually allowed to ride them down here. Obviously, rules just don't apply to some people. Anyway, I've just had a notification up that the Palace team sheet has been released. Seems early, but have they changed the rules this season? Must have done. Anyway, once we get back to the surface, have a little look at the Palace team and hope we can find somewhere for lunch. On the other side of the river, I might be showing some of the football. Okay, here we are on the north side of the of the foot tunnel, a mere 34 miles away from Hampton Court. Anyway, we're only sticking with the Thames path as far round as Limehouse Basin. Not sure how far that is. I'm guessing no more than about 45 minutes. And then once we get there, we'll be picking up the canal. Let's see how we get on. And here we are, despite some pretty poor signage, which unfortunately is typical of the Thames Path in my experience. We've made it back to the river. As you can see, we're now on the north side of the river. You can see the Cutty Sark over my left shoulder there in the background. Refreshingly, there's actually a nice bit of breeze now, so hopefully that's going to help keep us cool on the way round. Okay, so we've made it to the canal, but it's a bit of a mystery which way to go here. I think that to get to the Regent's Canal you need to get back to Limehouse Basin. Limehouse Cut, I think that's what connects the canal up with the navigable part of the River Lee, and that would be sort of badly in the wrong direction if I head off that way and it's wrong. So let's try this way. Okay, here we are, we're at Commercial Road, lock number 12, which I think must be the 12th and final lock on the Regent's Canal. Limehouse Basin's over that way. We're heading in the opposite direction. The water in the lock is an absolutely filthy green colour. I really wouldn't fancy dipping that. This is the famous park. Okay, so the audio wasn't picking up too well here, just really because of the noise of the jazz band. But basically what I was saying was this is the Palm Tree, famous pub I've wanted to go to for a while. It's famous because it's been used in a lot of movies and TV shows whenever they need a ropey East End pub. It definitely was in Luther series 3. The thing with Stephen Graham, not Stephen Graham, Lenny James, the Me Too thing that was there, like regular in there. Unfortunately, they only take cash, which I knew, but hadn't actually found a cash point on the entire route. So
here we are, just
there we
before
go.
Victoria Park, and heading off that way. Wasn't sure what that body of water was, but the sign here tells me it's the Hertford Union Canal. I'm not sure what that flows into. That'll be one for the map later. So here I am in Mile End. This is Grove Road, I think. This is where the first flying bomb fell on London in the Second World War. I'm guessing that would have been a V1 rocket or something like that. Anyway, thank goodness the Nazis only developed these late on in the war. There's not much of the original East End left around here. Anyway. Now then, Horner's here, back at HQ, back in the Brew Cave. In the end, today was a bit of an aborted mission. Still felt I had plenty of gas left in the tank in terms of doing another couple of hours and getting the 21 miles in, but also had to get back and give the kids something to see. Just had a very nice tapas meal in El Molino's, local Spanish restaurant to us, and now faffing around trying to work out all this like editing apps, etc. Lessons learned, feet feel good, shoes feel good. The new shorts, both the unders and the overs, feel good, so that's progress. So that's making me feel a bit more confident. But overall, you've got to look at it and think, by the very nature of a river flowing slowly into the Thames, it's all ever so slightly downhill and flat. Clearly, the Lake District's not going to be like that, and